Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Not My Lifetime podcast, episode 19. And we are now properly into pre-season now. It's been a bit more news in the last few weeks now, but we're finally properly back on the City Hype train. Tonight, I think, is the first pre-season game against Celtic, which will be exciting and be a good way to finally get. It's not obviously play competitive football, but it's City playing football, which is better than nothing at all. After a summer of absolute boredom with the Euros and England, so I'm happy to at least have football back again, at least. Before we get into Savio and Edison, KDB, and all that kind of stuff, let's just say, how you doing, lads? All good?
All good, mate.
All good, mate. All good. It's been
tired, but when we get there, we move. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Got to crack on, haven't we?
Exactly. We got to crack on now. But I mean, I think for me, it's just exciting to have football back on again. I mean, I know it's not Premier League, but it's City of some kind. We get to see some young players play tonight, and it's been nice to sort of look forward to City again properly, rather than have to sort of just wait around with news and kind of. I mean, it's been a pretty dead summer for anyway for us. It's been pretty quiet. I've never seen it as quiet before in a long time. Like usually, I get obviously like player links and that, but it's been so like scarce of anything. Or anything like subtle or substantial. So it's just nice to like have some football back on again at least, and sort of look forward to the games again. Obviously, we've got obviously we'll get into the actual preseason games obviously towards the end. But let's discuss Savio or Savio, whatever you decide to call him at this point. I don't know who he is. How do you guys actually see this transfer? I mean, I think it's actually a very good move. You know, a good direct winger who's got a bit of skill, but like Doku. I'd say better than Doku personally from what I've seen of him. But he's still a good player who can be a bit more dynamic, a bit more direct. I just want to see like how you guys think about that move.
Let's give it a try. Can't be that bad, can he? I mean, he's what, 20 years old? 21? 20, 21?
20 years old,
Give it a chance. 10 years ago, if City were signing a 21-year-old Brazilian kid, you'd be laughing, wouldn't you? So why not? 21, 20 million. See what he's all about. See what the fuss is about.
Yeah,
look, he's not going to hit the ground running.
Term.
He's not going to hit the ground running, is he? He's not going to be like.
You never know.
He's not going to be Messi. But let's give him a chance. Just give him a chance. Give him a go. See what he's like. Play him. Literally just play him. Put him out there on the wing.
What I'm worried about is what that means for Oscar Bob.
Nothing. Play them both.
Because you got four wingers, don't you?
Doku, Grealish, Savio. Oscar Bob's not going to get that much of a chance, and it sounds like we're keeping McAtee as well.
See, with McAtee, right, I know people love him, and I want him to have a chance too. I'm actually quite happy he's getting a chance, but the problem is I have to wonder, why is he getting a chance now? Where was that chance 2 years ago when he actually could have got a chance? And then we might have seen a whole year of him at that point. Then we could all say, right, he needs a loan deal. Like, look at Rico. He was, what, 17, 18 when he got a chance. Actually, he has proved himself to be a really good player, a great squad player. McAtee could have been that player as well. If he was given a chance.
Definitely. Like if you use Foden as an example as well, Foden never went out alone. And we all knew Foden was going to be a class player from the day one.
Yeah, but even like Liam Delap, I'm not saying Delap like good right now, but you never know what could happen if he got given the better. I mean, that start he had at City actually wasn't too bad as well. He could have had much more opportunities if he was given it.
Didn't he score on his debut?
He did. Against Bournemouth.
Yeah,
that could have been used a lot more because that was the season we didn't really have a striker. We had the
I know, but it would have been nice to have seen him used. I mean, that's what I mean. I'm not saying I know if buts maybes, but it'd be nice to have seen players like that then give an opportunity for a season, see how they do, and then say, right, you aren't good enough for us, but you're still good enough for someone else.
I've always said though, loaning a player out is a big indication of whether they're good enough or not. Because look at Foden as a prime example. He was good enough. There was no chance we were loaning him out. No chance. Tommy Doyle, everyone was kind of like, yeah, decent little player. He'll be good at City. He's good. He's strong. He's quick. He's this, that, the other. Loaned him out. Now he's gone to a mid-table team. He's not good enough for City. As good as he is, he ain't good enough. James McAtee is probably another one of them. Why would we loan him out to a championship team to then get relegated the following season if he's that good, if he's good enough to play for us. I'm not convinced he is. Oscar Bob, again, I'm 50-50 on this one. I'm not. Look, I've said before, I think Oscar Bob will be as good a youngster, and as I've said that he's got as much talent as a youngster as Foden had. Again, an indication is it doesn't look likely he's going to go on loan. That tells you probably he might just be good enough. All the others, there's a reason they went on loan, and that's because they ain't good enough. It's not, I don't care what anyone says, going on loan to a championship team when you're playing in a club that is the top of the Premier League is not to see how good you are. The level is miles apart. It's because you're not good enough to get in the team at City. If you're good enough, you'll stick around and you'll be part of the team no matter what. Whether you're going to play 5 games, 20 games, if you're good enough, you'll be part of the squad. If you're not good enough, you'll be loaned out. And I've always said that. I'm not just saying that recently about players. I've always said it. I think Rico Lewis is another example of he probably is good enough. Therefore, he's never gone out on loan. Never been an indication he got out on loan.
I think it's.
But there's 3. There's literally 3 players there. Phil Foden, Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob. The rest have all gone out on loan or been sold. Huh?
Because Palmer didn't play too much, and we kept hold of him, and then we sold him, and now
he could have had a chance. Yeah, I'm not saying he's as good as he is now, but he could have done.
Exactly. Palmer, you probably put in the exceptional bracket of maybe he. Look, I don't think he was. He's never going to be good. He wasn't at the level to play for City. Maybe now, but not then. And it's like it's one of them. Maybe he would have been kept to being given the chance. Pep didn't want to loan him, did he?
No.
What does that tell you? If Pep doesn't want to loan a player, he wants them to stick around and be in the squad. That, to me, kind of suggests that you're good enough.
Exactly, but
I think
Pep doesn't really like loaning players in general, does he?
No, because I don't see the point.
It's more of a last resort when you can't sell a player.
Yeah, what's the point? Look at Cancelo. What's the point in loaning him out?
Cancelo,
get him gone.
Phillips,
get him gone. Get him gone.
What
was the point in loaning Calvin Phillips? There isn't any.
I mean, with Calvin Phillips, right? I mean, at this point, like, I know this is a different point itself. I'm gonna go back on Savio in a bit, but it is pre-season for me. If he actually does well, actually shows a bit of fight and a bit of determination, okay, give him a couple of games in the league, see how you do. I know people will say, "Oh, just let him go." Just see what he does. If he has the mentality to take on and try his best and get back into the team, fine. Because players can come back from stuff like that. They can do it. But if his head's on, he can do it. So I'm not saying, with Calvin, I'm going to give him a chance. But if he doesn't hit the ground on him or doesn't do well in preseason, just set him on. Because I think we've got to give players a chance, but we can't just have them just fester in the squad and do nothing. It has to be a balance. I think especially if I was trying to get a midfielder in, obviously have to help Rodri out, which obviously still haven't got one in yet, but we'll see what happens. I'm honestly, the way it's going right now, I'm a bit concerned because it's no news at all on that front, and I know we're quite cast to our chest, but this is a bit too stubborn.
Do you know what? I saw something before, and it's actually a very logical point. I'm not sure whether I believe it or whether it's because I don't want to believe it. But the fact that there's literally nothing, there's no news of anything coming in, it's very quiet. And that's unusual anyway for anyone. But I suppose, there's only really Villa that have made big signings, isn't there? Like a couple more than just the odd one. But is this a clearer indication that there is next summer going to be an all change? Pep going, Cheeky going.
It could be
because he Pep may as well finish it with the players he's got, and then balance the books, save the funds next summer, get a new manager, new signings, new philosophy, new ideas, new budget, and save the budget this summer for next summer, and almost essentially have double the budget because you've got a new manager with new ideas. And I was reading that and I was like, that's actually not a bad point. Is it true? Possibly. Do I want it to be true? Absolutely not. But You can see it.
Because I said before about in the nose, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking at anyone who has links to the club and talks about stuff like Tyrone Martin, Tommy. It doesn't matter who you are, right? You got what you hear what you hear, and it doesn't mean it's gospel, by the way. Bear in mind that not what everyone says is going to happen. I think for me with Pep, right? I think he will sign New Deal. The problem is that I think we're at a point. Yeah, but I think we're at a point right now where we're trying to work out where we're going next, because it's clear we're wingers now. We're going back to the fast-paced wingers because of Haaland being a box striker, and we can finally have that ability where Haaland's going to get more goals now because of having wingers. They run down the wing and try and find him, which is great because it means that we'll be back to the Sterling, Sane, Aguero kind of day, which is good for him and Alvarez, probably Alvarez stay on as well, but. The thing is with me is that we've got good midfield. I mean, look, if Nunes and Pavlovic and Phillips come in and do a job, they don't need another midfielder. Really, people are going to hate that. By the way, I've said that. I'm not getting a Bruno Guimaraes. But then you've got to think we've got so many players as it is right now. Where are you going to fit Bruno right now? Where are you going to fit him? Because unless Calvin goes and maybe Nunes decides to go on more the wing, then there's no point. I'm not saying don't sign anyone. I think we should be signing maybe one or two more players just in case for a bit of squad overall ability. But we've got to think about this right now. We can't just go sign players willy-nilly. We've got to think about this, who we actually want. If Edison's going to go, obviously, if Etihad want to pay the actual clause or the money that we're actually asking for, then obviously we'll go and get a cost Donnarumma or something like that of that ilk. Obviously, I'm not saying we will, but we might have a look at that if we do. But let's say players stay. Remember, it's relying more on players leaving than actually players coming in more. So far, Gomez is gone. I mean, fine, good deal over a good sell-on clause.
How much did we sell him for?
About 9-10 million, I think. But also because a sell-on clause, including a sell-on clause, and also if he does really well at Sociedad, bring him back. Obviously, he's good now. So it's a good deal for everyone. But I think for me, look, some of the fans have got to be patient there. We need to look at what we actually need, because if you start going and buying all these players, look, Madrid have bought Mbappe, right? This is what they come back to. Madrid actually needed a striker anyway, so it makes sense for them to go and get Mbappe anyway. I know, look, the Bellingham, Mbappe, whatever going on there, let them sort it out themselves, because Mbappe's ego's off the roof. So, as a whole different point itself. But for us, we got to think about what we actually need. For me, I focus more on contracts, actually bring players in.
Yeah.
Because honestly, at this point, I love transfers. I'm sure you do that same about transfers. I love seeing players come through the door, but it's got to be the right ones. We can't just throw money at the wall. It's not exactly how it should work. Look, obviously, people have career mode, and so do I, so Alex. But it's kind of like we got to think here. I mean, Danny, I'm sure you obviously agree with us there, and it's like, as much as we want players in, we've got to be patient and understand what we actually need first before we start going in the market.
Yeah, realistically, you can't make signings until players have left, and Pep likes to have a smaller squad anyway. We can't make any midfield signings until Nunes is gone or Phillips is gone, or even De Bruyne, which
Bernardo.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a name that still comes up every now and again, but even that's gone quiet now. So we can't make any signings until someone leaves, and Cancelo hasn't even left.
Exactly.
No, he's still there, isn't he?
Exactly.
People Walker, that's another one. It's just a list of rumours of people who might be going, but they probably won't.
Nothing concrete. Nothing.
No.
I mean, even the Walker rumours about him going to Saudi. Look, if that happens, then I does get Frimpong. That's the only deal I can see happening, because Frimpong actually would play. He doesn't defend well. Well, we've got defenders that can play well anyways. Even if it's on the wing or a wing back option, we have wing backs. We can do that if we need to. So I think Frimpong will be a great replacement for Walker. I think people will say otherwise, but for me, from what I've watched of him, the Leverkusen, I think he's good enough to do that role, especially how mature he is. How well he's played for Leverkusen with the league and Europe as well. That's how I
think
see it.
it's just his attacking play that gets Frimpong attention, though. It's definitely not his defensive ability. He would struggle in the Premier League. Like, look at Cancelo.
But I think
Cancelo really struggled defensively.
But I think Frimpong's got the mentality to learn that, actually develop more as a player.
He's a lot younger.
Because Cancelo has the attitude problems, whereas Frimpong will actually listen to Pep and say, "Yep, all right, I'll work on that." And it doesn't mean it impede him to going forward, but it makes him a better player overall. Remember, he's still very young, Frimpong. He's like Foden's age, isn't he, something like that? So he's still got a lot of time to grow into it as well. So I get, look, obviously that's a rumor. That's not obviously confirmed, but I know we're obviously looking at him, but just enough. He's obviously a former player for the National Academy. He's obviously a very talented kid. But we got to obviously realise that before we get players like that in, players got to go. So if Walker does go, by the way, I hope he does go. In my opinion, I mean, I'm done personally. I think we're all done with Walker now. It's just, after that Euros and after that season, I think
he's dug himself a hole, hasn't he, this summer?
He has, and it's why I think a Frimpong would be, because it's a bit of fresh blood. A former player coming back as well, who's actually been a manager. It makes perfect sense as well. Obviously, I know it's rumours, but personally for me, I wouldn't mind that. Especially as well, Virtual Claw got as well in his contract. It's a bloody bargain. So if Walker goes to Saudi Arabia, why not get Frimpong in? Again,
that's the only issue with that again is we'd only have one right back. We have an issue now that we don't have cover for Walker.
That's the problem.
Right, I mean, you've got Rico, but again,
if we get rid of Walker, bring Frimpong in, we're still only limited to one right back. And if you consider Cancelo is getting fucked off again, then we only have the one, and then we still don't even have a left back. So full back is really
that's the thing.
Tough position.
When was the last time we had a decent left back?
Clichy?
Depends if you call them quality. Because they both have their faults.
Clichy was class.
Clichy was good.
Clichy was class. He was brilliant, Clichy, at what he did.
He was good for a couple of years. I'll give him that. But then later on, he wasn't brilliant. But I always say a mixture of Kolarov and Clichy would have been the perfect left back.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Guardiola is sort of on the line of that, isn't he?
But he's not. But again, he's not a left back, is he? He's a centre back by trade.
He's too good to be a centre back.
He is actually. He's very good.
I suppose, because he's too good to not play. So, if the only way you're going to get him to play is,
we're talking about cover for Rodri. Guardiola could be cover for Rodri.
Could be if he's training. If John Stones can do it, then Vardiol could do it as well. I'm not saying right now, but
that's what I mean.
Train like, that role.
Technically, he is a very gifted footballer. He's great with his feet, and he can defend. He can attack. So why not give him a go in midfield?
Now
he's probably the best dude.
Yeah.
What was that?
Shannon makes a good point about Couto. See, Jan Couto, right? I mean, I watched him at Girona a bit when I could, and he's a good player. I mean, he's a good ability on the ball crossing. But again, you got to ask this: is he going to be given that time?
No.
By Pep?
No.
I think he's a good player. I'm not saying. Look, I think he's a very, very good player, very talented kid. But we've got to remember, right, that there's a reason why Pep has played in the first place. I know this is one good season he's had, which is it's still good, but you got to look at the fact that Dortmund's trying to get him. It tells you all you need to know. We're not going to play him at all. Well, personally, I'll give him a chance on the tour. If he's on it, but obviously did he play for Brazil? Or was he on holiday?
He has played for Brazil.
Right. Okay. So he probably has done. Okay. Well, even so, I think I'll probably give him a chance on the tour. But if the club want to get money for him, I can't blame him for doing it. But I think there are a lot of choices for us, especially at fullback and wherever we want to go. It's the thing, like there's no clear-cut player to get in, is there, or option or choice here? Like we're at a point now where we got so good that we need to actually look at bringing players in that can do the job. I mean, Obviously, when De Bruyne goes,
exactly.
for me, when De Bruyne goes, Musiala reverts, it's Sean bringing in straight away. Because about Foden, you need someone along with Foden for it to work. You can't just rely on one player to do it all the time. We need those two players.
This is what I was saying about bringing in players like Bruno and Neto, other players along that line. They're not the quality that we need because we're at the top. We need players who are capable of playing at the top. Like Paqueta, he's a good player, but is he good enough?
I think if any one of them was going to be good enough, it'd be Bruno, wouldn't it?
It would be.
He's the only one, realistically. But I totally agree with you. It's not. They're not elite, are they? They're not. Musiala.
This is the thing. Like, if you get rid of, I'm not going to say get rid of De Bruyne, but if you're going to let De Bruyne go, you can't replace him with Bruno Guimaraes or Paqueta. You need to be going for Musiala, that caliber of player.
The thing is, though, again, I saw this before, and it's absolutely right. Wherever we go, people need to accept that it's a downgrade. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, Bruno Guimaraes, Paqueta. It doesn't matter. It's a downgrade. Yeah. And the whole system is going to change again. The whole plethora is going to change again. It's going to be a whole plethora of different ideas and different systems until it clicks and gets it right. I would love Florian Wirtz at Manchester City. I think he's got the potential to be absolutely brilliant, to be like Kroos. He's unreal. But or Musiala same. But again, the system's going to have to change to accommodate them, and they're not going to be Kevin De Bruyne straight away. Yes, Harry, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah, it's gonna be a downgrade for upgrade again. Like
exactly.
Let's actually go over the actual players we got. So we've got Edison and Ortega. I think for me that's perfectly fine. Obviously, it's a new deal. That's our keepers sorted for how long we have them for. Right back for me is the long term we need to look at either now or next year, because we've got to look at who we're going to get in there. Are we giving a chance to Couto? Or are we getting Frimpong into replace Walker? Like, what long term choice there? Like, that's what I really need to look at. I think centre backs we're bloody sorted, unless someone wants to go. So
we're sorted for about the next 20 years, aren't we? With centre backs.
About that. Yeah. Also, Hard Bellis as well. If he played both Southampton, call back because I'm nice. So
yeah.
Left back. I mean, a left back will be ideal, maybe a wing back, but again, I don't really feel like necessarily Carvalho. Anyway, it depends on what we go for after Pep anyway. But obviously, I think the full backs maybe I'll look at, but defence overall is probably fine.
Well, at left back we've got Ake and Guardiola, haven't we? So we're starting
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Kind of
a bit.
Yeah, they do a job at left back.
It's not bad, but if you want a left back in there, I wouldn't mind it personally. I wouldn't mind a left back at some point, but. I think midfield, Rodri, Calvin Phillips. Now, the midfield for me is interesting. Rodri for me, right? Look, obviously, long term, he'll be the main man. I know Madrid will try and bang that personally for me. I can't see him going to Madrid because he played for Atletico Madrid anyway. Sounds like going to work at Real. I mean, I know he's not going to shit, but I'm just making a point. I think we've got him for a while. I think. De Bruyne's got if he's on a new deal, 3 more years probably at most 3 more years, including the season coming up.
I don't know. Could he be 36 then?
You never know. Look at Modric.
Is he really going to maintain that level for another 3 years?
He could do.
He's already. Look, De Bruyne is brilliant. De Bruyne is absolutely brilliant, but you can already see in little doses. The age creeping up with him, the injuries he's had creeping up behind. It's like Walker. It's the same. It's totally natural. I mean, the guy's 33.
But almost 34.
Yeah, I think one more injury to De Bruyne and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. One more injury. He can't go through another surgery like he's had.
No, not another long-term injury like that. It's going to be even harder.
Because he's never going to be able to regain the fitness again. No. Like, it's all right someone of 21, 22, 23 getting an injury that's, going to keep him out for the majority of the season or surgery that will keep them out for the majority of the season. They heal quicker. They come back. They can get as fit. It's incredibly difficult for someone. I know that. Look, I'm only 31 myself. I'm not old at all. But my recovery time from injury is going to be a hell of a lot slower than yours, Luke, because you're a lot younger than me. It's natural.
I mean,
that's the human body.
You say that, but I've got a disability, so it depends on that one. But carry on. Carry on. It's fine.
But no, it's like that's just the way it is. That's biology. That's human nature. De Bruyne is not going to recover quick enough. And I totally agree with you, Danny. I think another injury to him, that's it. So it's why we love him.
I hope someone's keeping track of that. That's 2 agreements we've had now.
Jesus Christ, this is new.
I'll keep a tally on the wall.
But if look, Pep said he's staying. Yeah, I agree with that. He's got 1 more year, I think.
Yeah.
I'd love him for about 3, 4, 5 more years. He's probably one of my favourite ever Manchester City players. I love him to pieces, but we need to do what we did with Aguero, with David Silva, not what we did with Joe Hart, with De Bruyne. What we need to do is let him go on his terms. If he wants to go this summer, so be it.
Yeah.
So be it.
Next summer will be either.
He could go now, and in January, February, March, or even the weekend before the end of the season says, do you know what? I'm not going to sign another contract. I'm going to play my last game this weekend, and then I'm going to leave on a free. And if he joins the MLS, if he goes to Saudi, that's entirely up to him. But that's fine. Every City fan, I think, would accept that.
Well,
I would personally. I mean, if Saudi come along now and said, here's 60 million, for someone who's 33, with 1 year left, you'd probably have to think, you know what?
I'm looking at it.
You're looking at it, and you in my heart, I'd probably, and Football Manager head on, I'd reject it personally, because he's worth more than that to me. But as a business and as a football club, you'd probably have to think, reluctantly, I'm going to have to accept it. Because how many 33-year-olds are there in world football who get 60 million for?
Modric, no. Modric, not anymore. No.
But, you know...
level, but not anymore, no.
Maybe. Cruz, wouldn't. He's retired.
Messi, Ronaldo.
Lewandowski, definitely not. He ain't the same player anymore, Lewandowski. He ain't the same player anymore. Ronaldo, definitely not. 5 players? Ronaldo, definitely not. Messi, possibly.
So what, 5 players?
Probably about that, yeah.
Minimal. So you'd have to look at it, wouldn't you? You'd have to consider it.
I agree.
And you'd have to look at it from a business point of view as well. You'd have to look at it as it's gut-wrenching.
Yeah, football's a business now. So anything that'll make money, make a profit.
Precisely. You've got to look at it from a business point of view. And if he does decide he wants... But I think with De Bruyne, I don't think he'll sign a new deal. I think if he does, it would be...
1 year deal.
He'll finish this year.
I think he'll stay another year after next
year. I think it'll be this year, then a coaching role, like coach/player role.
That'd be all right.
Yeah, continue as a player for a season and do his coaching badge.
Exactly. So do his coaching badges next year throughout the season, continue as a player, then the following year sign like a player-coach deal.
And then you don't really like 2 players of that caliber leaving at the same time.
Exactly like
usually
Patrick
one
Vieira
player
did.
a season.
That's
like
what Patrick
Silva
Vieira did,
left,
if you remember.
Company left a different year, Gundogan left a different year, Fernandinho. They all left in different summers, so it was a bit more of a big deal. I can't see Walker and De Bruyne leaving at the same time.
No.
Especially if Pep leaves next summer. It's not all going to happen.
For me, obviously when Kev goes, it'll be a bloody, I think it'll be a stud of everyone. It's just as bad when Silva and Aguero left, but just because I think what Kev's brought to this club, I know Perry's done similar things, but what he's done to maintain that level of that standard for that long, even when he's been injured as well, it's still maintain that level. It's impossible. I've never seen a player like that before. So I know you've got Messi, obviously, but midfielder like that, and midfielder, that ability, like I'm sorry, right, but when I see these comparisons like Gerrard, Lampard's goal, I'm like nowhere near. Sorry, right? No. I know people love the nostalgia, but come on, man.
Let's just
Come
say
different.
Scholes isn't in the conversation. Forget about Scholes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely
Scholes
overrated.
is a good player.
Wow.
He's a good player.
Okay.
He's
Do you know
nowhere
what?
near-
Right?
He's not even as good as Lampard or Gerrard, is he? If we're being
I'd say
I think
Lampard was
Scholes-
probably the better player. I'd say that's my
City
honest.
legend, didn't he?
Lampard is my
Lampard, though, so
favourite out of
that's-
the three.
He was, yeah. City bias.
I think
And De Bruyne is
putting my
better than all three of them.
putting my football hat on, I would have loved Scholes in this City team now.
you'd be right.
I honestly, and I used to grow up and I used to think he was fucking brilliant. He was just his vision. Honestly, right? Putting it from because I don't want to talk about United. Let's put it as an England perspective. If Paul Scholes wouldn't have retired from England, we'd have won something. I think with him leading that midfield, we'd have won something. Because I honestly think in today's game,
more manager. We need a good manager as well. You need a manager because otherwise you've got an idiot in charge.
No, I just think Scholes was that little bit that we haven't seen for years.
So you're saying if Scholes didn't retire, we would have won something, but we didn't win anything when he didn't retire.
I still think if he was there at his peak, he was just. I don't know.
He was playing for England at his peak.
There was just something about Scholes that was different. And I just think he had that little edge of quality. Look, I'm not saying he was better than Lampard or Gerrard or De Bruyne or whoever. But I just thinking like an elite peak Paul Scholes now in this City team would be unplayable.
Yeah.
No.
I think he was very good.
Right. Anyway, on from. Come on.
That's the only time I've ever been nice about a United player.
I'll be nice about Rooney. That's about it.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. For me, the midfield for me, and big up Harry, by the way. The midfield, by the way, for me is an interesting one because I think, look, obviously De Bruyne is obviously a whole situation in itself, but we need to look at Phillips, Nunes, Kovacic, because for me, them three, two of them won't be here next year.
I can tell you which two.
The Phillips and Kovacic?
No, Phillips and Nunes.
Okay.
I'll be amazed if Nunes even stays beyond this summer.
He won't go anywhere. There's nowhere for him to go. Unless we can coop the 55 million back. He's not going anywhere.
We did, I laugh.
And let's be real. We ain't getting 55 million, are we? So he's not going anywhere. So people can get that out of their head. He's going nowhere. Unless Saudi stump up the money, he's staying and give him a chance. Let's just give him a chance. Because we played him, we didn't play him enough. We played him out of position. And we had, last season, apart from Foden and possibly Haaland, did anybody else stand out consistently all season? No. Maybe Rodri, I guess, as well. 3 players from a whole squad of 23.
Rodri, not Haaland. Let's be real.
Yeah. So your top 3 are Phil, Rodri, and then there's a gap, and then maybe Haaland and Stones, possibly. There's nobody, though, is there? That's my point. There's nobody. Let's just give him a chance, because why not? Why can't these players step up and be good enough? Everybody's saying after last season's Grealish disaster that he's going to come back strong. Let's see it then. Do it. Why can't he? Why can't why can't Kovacic? Why can't these players who play for the best team in the world step up and do it? Of course they can. They wouldn't be there otherwise.
I would like Jack in midfield.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd love to see Jack in midfield. I'd love to see him centre mid. I've said that
on the wing. Yeah. On the wing, he's wasting the wing.
Or play him just behind Haaland. Play him as like a deep lying forward. I'd love to see if it could backfire.
I think
massively,
he's more of a Bernardo style midfielder,
Yeah.
box to box sort of midfielder. He's not a
Yes,
winger.
he
He
is.
doesn't do what a winger's supposed to do. But
Savio's
he's
for
good
that.
at what he does do.
That's why Savio is the player we got in, because I think Savio and Doku will rip the fullbacks a new one. They will cause nuisance and get double up teamed up, which gives Grealish, De Bruyne, whoever's in the midfield, or that space to Van Haaland. This is needed for me, right? I'm not saying Savio is who I wanted, but he's definitely what I'll definitely take him right now, because he will offer something different, very skillful. Obviously, he's obviously Brazil player, but very skillful, but does it at the right time. Very quick. Actually quite strong for a player of his quality, this height as well. He'll be back in a bit.
Do we lose everything?
Yep, you're right. We're good. It's fine. Well, it's a bit, but it should be. There you go. Yeah, right. We're right in a bit. But no, I think Savio for me and Doc we need on his wings. I think Grealish for me is much better in the midfield, because I think he hasn't got the pace for it anyway. I know he wins fouls, but that left wing, I feel like we need someone who's going to be running at the fullback, so Grealish can have all the space to create himself. I hope we see that more in pre-season when we get a chance to see him do that. I know obviously it might be what Pep wants, but I mean, having seen Jack and how built he looks, especially body wise and all that, he looks like he's really up for it. I want to see him given a real chance this time. A proper raid.
Oh, yeah.
So go on and prove.
Grealish is really taking training seriously in pre-season. So I think we're going to see a completely different player next season. Hopefully
we do. I think him also being a dad as well is going to help as well. He has that responsibility of a player as well to sort of be mature as well. This is what we need. So I reckon this will be a big year for him. I think if it doesn't work out, then obviously you go from there. But I think for me, I think it will work out. I think he'll probably have his best year stats wise this year. He will. Saying it now.
I think he's going into this season completely determined. And
definitely,
we've brought in Savio now, so it's another threat to his position in the squad. So he's got something to fight for, and he's had a lot of criticism. So he'll want to prove everybody wrong. Even though personally, I don't think he's done anything wrong. I think he could still do a bit more.
There you go. Well, bear with us. Glitches. Technical difficulty right now. I don't know what's going on, but we'll sort of, Alex, can you hear us still?
I can hear you. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Unfortunately.
But I'm not in the stream, though.
That's really... Right, hold on. Sorry, people.
Wait there. I'll log out and back in.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, people. Internet issues on his side. Have you next week? It'll be back to normal, hopefully. Hopefully. But no, I think for me, it's just... We need to see Grealish given that. I'm not saying like he will have a good season, but it's up to him to sort of show that ability and sort of really sort of show that mentality he wants to. But I think this will be his year, I reckon.
There we go.
There you go.
No idea what happened there. It said I was backstage for ages, and I'm just there like, hello.
Don't worry, it's fun. No, but I think the attacking options to me were looking. Obviously, De Bruyne. Obviously, we'll look at Mr. That's long term, but Jack's really proves that this year. I think he will, but he's got to because for God's sake, everyone's gone. sorry, people. Issue on the front, not mine this time. Bloody hell, guys! This is unprofessional. Unprofessional. What's going on this time? Right.
I totally agree with you about Jack. I really want him to do well. And these training pictures, they're really promising. He looks really fit. He looks really up for it. He looks strong.
He looks happy as well.
And I was literally just going to say he's smiling. So this is what
Haaland
I mean.
As well. Haaland looks like he's really happy and excited.
Yeah, he does. He's good as well. Haaland's good.
Compared to last season.
Yeah. But this is what I mean. Why can't these players now think, do you know what? If we get 5 in a row, no one's doing that for at least 5 years.
I don't think anyone will do it again.
They won't do it in our long time, no. But that's what I mean. So in our lifetime, in their lifetime, if they go for it, why can't these players step up? Why can't they be good enough? What reason is there to justify that they ain't going to be good enough? If we sit here in 12 months' time and those players haven't been good enough, then fair enough. But it's a new season, so new slate. Start again. Act like they're new signings.
Yeah.
Fresh start. You know, I've slagged Jack Grealish off to the hill. I've slagged Ortega off to the hill. I've slagged Dake, Akanji, Diaz, Foden, a lot of them. But
you haven't slagged off Diaz.
I have a few times.
You would
I'm allowed to because he's my favourite. But
right,
I think
at the end of the day, right, we on this channel fairly criticise. We will in the FA Cup final. We call out all players apart from Doku, and rightfully so. No, I applauded only Doku and no one else. I didn't care. I'm a big De Bruyne and Haaland fan. I was like, I'm not celebrating that because it doesn't matter how good.
He's the only one who could have any credit after that game.
Exactly.
And he needs to carry that on from that game.
Yes.
That's what we need every game.
Doku's got, you know what? At the Euros, it wasn't actually that bad. I know he didn't do a lot, but he wasn't actually that bad. Belgium.
I think Belgium were poor on the whole.
Lukaku was terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. And
Belgium have been terrible for the last God knows how
4 years. 4 years.
Let's give these players a fresh start.
They had a golden generation like England had, and they just let
Harry,
it go.
He's shite. No, I think this season's I think for me a second chance for some players, but also a big season for some.
Yeah,
I think it's got. Look, I don't give a shit about last season. Like well done, we won 4 in a row, but it's a new start. I mean, we got one because look at the league right now. Let's be real. Arsenal signed no one apart from Calafiori, who everybody need. Haven't got a striker didn't actually need. They look the same team as last year. Villa look alright, but I think Villa losing Diaby to Saudi is big. That's a big loss for Villa. That losing Diaby for 1 year, that ain't good for them.
It's not. They replaced him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just making a sort of point about that. I think
a bigger loss for them is Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, definitely. Because
that's a bigger loss for Villa.
Then look at. I'm sorry, United. Right, Euro's a good young centre back, but he's nowhere near the player yet. Xerxes again, another young Dutch striker, but again, nowhere near it yet.
What do you mean? I thought that Euro was Cannavaro in his prime.
Oh no! I actually do like United fans in a nutshell, but I like him as a player. He looks like a good young player, but again, he's young. He's giving him a chance. You can't just big him up like that. Look, this is why I big up MI players to actually start showing it. Show some proof before I actually big you up. You got to stop doing it yourself.
I tell you what, he might be young, but he cost 60 million and he had a year left on his contract. If he's shit. If Lil, by the way, I am ripping the shit out of United for that. I don't care. 60 million for a guy who's got a year left.
Let Varane go. Let Rafael Varane for me was a good player around Madrid. It was a good player around Madrid. I think
until Gabriel Jesus embarrassed him.
There's that, yeah. But letting him go, I was like, why letting Varane go?
Jesus embarrasses you, it's time to hang up the boots, isn't it?
Fair enough, yeah, fair enough. But I think when I look at our top rivals, Chelsea have brought young players in again, apart from Dewsbury Hall. Oh, that's about. Tottenham have brought anyone?
Tottenham have brought no one yet.
Liverpool, we should win this league again by a canter. We should walk this league, but I give a shit if I'm some arrogant. No one's done anyone yet, so why should I worry about Arsenal and Liverpool right now? Really?
Liverpool are transition, aren't they? Liverpool.
Well, they are.
It's going to be.
That's right. That is
again,
absolutely right.
Exactly. It's Liverpool are nowhere near it now because they look way off there. Arsenal, they got the stuff to compete again, but they need better players than what they've got because they're good.
If anyone doesn't win the league, if City don't win the league, it will be Arsenal who win it.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to be one of those seasons. And if I was Pep, I'd say the same to the players. If anyone finishes above us, they're champions.
Yeah.
because and Liverpool.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Harry is absolutely spot on. If we are our own biggest enemy when it comes to winning the league, and I don't mean that arrogant at all. I'm not being arrogant. I think most fans think that. And personally, if I had to say where I think we'll finish, in my heart, I don't think we are going to win the league. Personally, I think 4 in a row, we looked knackered. So we really need to push harder than we've ever pushed if we're going to do 5.
Yeah.
But in saying that, the caveat I will throw out there is I think if anyone finishes above us, I think they'll win the league. But I know a lot of City fans think we're going to win it easy because of what's around us, but
not easy. No,
we should do, but I don't think I can't see us winning it easy.
We are our own downfall.
We're our own worst enemy.
On anyone yet?
No,
and exactly. I don't.
August.
It doesn't matter, does it? Really, it doesn't. It doesn't start to matter till Christmas.
Exactly.
That's when it kicks in properly.
For me, I want to see who gets bought in before September. Before I start, I think we'll do a prediction for the table before the season starts, and then we'll do window charts, so we get an idea of who's bought in. Because I think that's why I look at it. Because sometimes you need to look at who people actually get in first. Starts now, okay, I do. But I just feel like for me, the league this season, and obviously we'll go back onto other stuff later on in the season. We got to just seriously don't assume you want it. Get the job done. I think for me particularly, I want to win the Champions League again with Madrid because I think us losing that game was annoying as hell because we were the better team than bar and we threw it away.
Did you expect City to do it any other way?
I know. That's where we are now. We are now the favourites along Madrid.
Can someone please tell me how the Champions League works now? I don't understand at all. Geez. And I'm kind of hoping that when we play in it, I'll start to understand it a little bit, but I don't get it.
It took me about 10 years to get goal difference and everything. So
you still don't understand offside, so you got no chance.
Okay.
No, but for me, right, I think I get what people are worried about all the squad size and all that, but then I'm thinking, well, all right, let's say you bring players in, just let's 3 players on Savio. What if we don't get the injuries? What if? I'm not saying we won't, but you got to look at it like this. If we've got a big enough squad to add a couple more players, then do it. But don't just buy players for the sake of buying players to please the fans. Otherwise, the fans will buy anyone popular, they buy them. So
look, at the end of the day, as we said at the very start, this isn't FIFA, is it? It's not Football Manager. This is real life. Like, yes, I am the first person to admit that I love playing FIFA and buying the best players. Hell, in my career mode, I've got 5 players that cost me over 120 million. Like, it's ridiculous to think that would ever happen in real life. It wouldn't. Never. But that's just all that is. It's a bit of fun. It's a fantasy. And as nice as it is to see players coming in, as we said at the start, we've got to be realistic about it. And we're in a position now where if we bought someone in, they're not going to be better than as the person that they are coming in to replace or be cover for.
Exactly. So
who do people really want? Okay, look, I get the Versa Musiala thing. I get that because that's when De Bruyne goes. You've got to you can't replace him, can you? But you've got to kind of build for that and work around it, which is probably what we're doing. What's to say we ain't going to do that next summer? And sign
it's fan patience, Alex. It's fan patience.
What if they might not, Versa or Musiala, one of them could have a serious injury and never come back the same in this season?
Look at that.
What if there's another kid that steps up this season? Who knows? Nobody knows. But I just think it's I'm not at all with the squad we've got. I'm fine with it. I'd love to add more to it, but is it? Look, it's not that bad of a squad, is it? It's still probably up there with the best squads we've ever had. The best squad we've ever had, without a doubt, is the treble-winning squad, obviously, for obvious reasons. But even that squad struggled for consistency in the first half of that season.
Yeah, it did.
So look at it individually. You've still got some quality in there. And there's still plenty of teams out there who would rather be in the position we are than where they are.
We've still got arguably the best squad in the league. Like, our players are still the best players, regardless of what people say. Like, people say Pep's taking on the quality, and then people say, "Oh, we don't have the best players. We can't win." But we've got the best team in the league. Are we really in an emergency where we need to bring players in unless players leave?
No, because
we don't need to panic.
If players leave, then obviously replace them. I mean, Danny, you're actually right. Like, we're in no panic at all. We're actually in a good spot because we know that if someone wants to go and they bring the right deal for us, fine. Thanks for the money. See you later. New player comes in. Because I'm very sure the club have he's done it again. He's done it again. Right, we're back in a bit. Here we go. Sorry, people. Again, this is what happened a lot. Oh, for God's sake, Joe, we'll just carry on for a bit, and I'll bring him back in when he's here. You know, man.
I think as long as we don't lose about 5 players in one go, that's fine. Yeah. If it's 1 or 2 players, we can just replace them. If they don't want to be here, let them go. We'll bring in someone who does want to be here. We don't have to panic about anything.
All good?
All good. This won't happen next week, by the way. I'll actually have internet then. I've been in this house nearly a month. A month next week. Can you believe it? A month. And I still haven't got internet. It's
disgraceful.
It is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace, but it is what it is. I've done my best. I'm still here for you, so.
No, fair enough. No, I respect that. I respect that. No, but look,
that deserves a subscriber, doesn't it? Surely someone watching this now has got.
I think we just lost one.
Huh?
I think we just lost one.
Unprofessional. Unprofessional. No, but I think I'm not too worried at all about transfers. Like, if we get someone else in, great. If we don't, all right, cool. But look, other people feel. But then you could have asked this question said before. All right, but someone has to go then. We can't just bring Gugi Marashi and then have 7 fielders stuck there in the midfield, have to rotate. This isn't career mode where I can rotate players here, put on a rotation or what. I can't just do that. If that was the case, then sure, have fun. But this isn't play career mode. This is real life. So look, I guess not all fans. Most fans on here that are complaining are the ones who are like kids that don't understand stuff. Sorry, we watched it like that. But I'm sorry, you have to understand football. You can't just buy players for the sake of buying players. You've got to actually buy players with right to do so, and also for the right reasons. So look, hopefully you bring one more in. I'd say 1 more, maybe 2 more at a push. But
I still think we will, but it's, you have big accounts, don't you, that talk complete and utter bollocks, saying that City need the money. That is a complete and utter fallacy. Where do they get that? That's total nonsense. And anyone who believes that needs their hard drive checking for starters. But that just feeds people's complete idiocy.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk nonsense like that. But then to say, oh, that's why they're charging more for ticket prices. No, it isn't. Read how a business works. It's nothing to do with City needing the money. It's nothing to do with City not having the money. City have got the money. Maybe they're a little bit scared of PSR. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe there's the element of Pep leaving. Or maybe they're just happy with what we've got. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, nothing wrong with it at all.
Sadly,
I think we will bring a couple in. I do think we'll sign 1 or 2. But if we don't, so be it. Go again. Try it again.
I think for me, what it is, right, it's just people just want a signing. And this is before, right? I'm sorry, right? People, I think, were jealous about the Mbappe side. Look, the thing is, right, that move was happening anyway. I'm sorry,
that move was happening fucking 10 years ago.
Nobody cares. I don't really care. You two, like, the hype for that died years ago. So well done. If we're there now, well done. Christ, like honestly, for me, right, Mbappe doesn't scare me. None of that team scares me because we're good enough to beat them. We're the one team that because we play away, they have to play shit out against us to beat us. But we make Real Madrid the Kings of your shit out against us in order to get through. That kind of respect is what you get. You get Valverde coming out saying how good we are. By the way, I love Valverde. By the way, he's a class player himself. You get the players coming out and saying how good are, like respecting us. Yeah. If you got respect from Real Madrid, that's a good thing. That's a good thing by the people.
Mm-hmm. Of course it is.
We're beating 4-0. Got Rodrigo Jr. rattle saying like they're so good. Like that in itself shows how good we are, and that's why I'm confident in us as a club, as a team, to always compete anywhere at a high level. League Cup, I don't really give a shit about that. We won enough times now. Where I'm like, oh, all right. Obviously, if you actually win it, I'll take it. Always do. A trophy is a trophy, but I could not care less about that. I care more about the FA Cup because that's a trophy I like to win.
I think for me though, saying about that not caring about trophies, we've won everything now. Literally everything there is to. So if look, I'll probably get lynched for saying this, but if we never win anything again, in my lifetime, I'll take that. I can take to the grave with me now the fact that we've won everything, and one of them we did it as a treble.
Yeah,
I'll take
that in my lifetime.
Exactly. So exactly. So
subscribe to Cheryl.
So, but who'd have thought that? Eh? You know, Big Steve's right in what Big Steve said a couple of years ago. You know,
I know Harry. Come on, man.
Oh,
one day, Harry. One day. We'll be there.
When we're working our way up from League 2, we'll be there.
Yeah. In Budapest, in Czech Republic, in Prague, we'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there.
You know, I'd have taken an FA Cup. If my dad would have said to me when I was 10 years old, going and watching City, when the lads we were talking about before, kicking with Samper and Lee Croft and all them lot were scoring for us, my dad would have said to me, do you know what, Alex? In your lifetime, you'll win one FA Cup. I'd have taken that. I'd have taken that.
4 with 1.
Exactly. I will go to my deathbed with City as treble winners. No one can take that away from us. End of. So if we never win anything again, and I'll just win it on Football Manager instead. I've seen us do it in real life.
I'm grateful that I know Silver and Guerrero missed out. Torre missed out on the Champions League, but I'm grateful that De Bruyne at least won it. Because all right, if we hadn't won it with him, it'd been a fucking disaster. So I'm pleased that one of our legends won it, at least.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Walker's legend away. No. Just I'm happy we've won it all. For me, obviously I want to win more. Of course you do. Of course you do. You know, of course you want to win more trophies, but it's perspective. I think we're gonna look at it like, I'm not saying people have to, lower expectations. No, keep them high. I still compete and win stuff. If you win nothing, it is a failure. But you got to win at least 7 a season. That's what we are. Now, I think the league, win it again, of course. Got to win it again. Champions League, we'll try to get it back. I think now that we've got our teeth in it now. I watched the YouTube video, the behind the scenes. I saw that our goal, Premier League, Champions League. I thought, okay, they know they want it back. I like it already. So it's clear that the players are focused on winning more. That's great. Now, obviously, I know with football, it's not guaranteed. And I think we'll win stuff this year. I reckon at least 2 trophies this year. I reckon it'll be either Champions League or Premier League will win, and a cup.
I'll take that. I'll always take winning a trophy, but like I say, if we never do it again, so be it. I've seen it.
Do you know what,
Guinea
Harry? I
pig
wouldn't
tech
mind.
leagues, trip to
I
Romania,
wouldn't
Cyprus,
mind actually. I wouldn't mind a bit of Cyprus.
I'm going there in a couple of weeks.
I'm going. I think is it Madrid in 2 months? That'd be nice. That'd be
Nice little trip to Cyprus. Danny, where are you going? Your back garden?
Yeah. My garden's better than yours.
Not anymore. But it probably is, actually. Although it's probably tidier. I need to tidy mine. But
yeah,
here's what it is.
Right. Do you know what? Before we end, and big up everyone who actually joined me. It's a short one today, but as I say, next week we'll have a lot more about it more. It's been a bit quiet. It's been obviously only got Savio, which is, by the way, a great deal. By the way, overall, I'm really pleased with that deal. I'm happy we got it sorted. Hopefully, it does really well for us. I'm sure he will do well for us. But I think for me, it's just I mean, this preseason coming up, I think is big for a lot of players who are on the fringes. So Calvin Phillips for me has to step up. He has to. I know it's friendly, but for me it matters because you've got to start showing your intent of getting back in the team again. I want to see Jack playing well. I want to see Oscar Bob pushing himself. I want to see is it Andala or young players like as O'Reilly and that coming through. I want to see these players given a chance. I think tomorrow and going forward is a good chance for these young players to show how good they are. And I also hope they do. Look, I'm not too worried about the scoreline really. Obviously you will win, but I'm not too worried about the scoreline anyway. As long as we actually play all right and play good, a lot of different players, I don't really mind. But before we end, how are you guys feeling about this preseason overall? Did you bother at all, or you just driving City back?
I've never. The only preseason game I can remember watching and having any interest in watching for the past few years was Haaland's first one. Was it against Bayern?
Yep, that's the one. Yeah,
purely because I wanted to see Haaland in a City shirt. Other than that, I couldn't care less. Genuinely couldn't care less. Come out there with no injuries, have fun in America, enjoy it. You know, get some sun in you, get some good food in you, get your fitness back, get back with the lads. As Harry said, get hungry for it. Just have some fun out there. Come back, be ready. Same as the Charity Shield, same again. Fuck United, beat them. But what will be on that. And just start the season strong, start the season fit, and just be ready to go. Just want it. Be hungry for it, fight for every tackle, fight for every ball, and just go again. Clean slate now. Start again. That's literally it. You start again. I know it's not career mode, but when you finish a season on career mode, you have that loading screen, and then everything goes back to the very start again.
Yep.
Well, that's how
Pep
talks about it, isn't it? Like, that's it. Whatever you did last season, that's done. Start again.
Exactly. That's it. Last season, as good as it was, we go into next season as champions. Last season's irrelevant now. This is the new season now. This is the point where you switch over.
Now. Nobody's won 5 in a row yet.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll do a prediction, obviously, for season soon. I mean, right now, a bit early still. I'd say about 2 weeks' time, we'll do a proper discussion and discuss, obviously,
what I think season starts.
Yeah. So, not right now. It says there's a good bit of time, sort of, relax and chill before then. But it's been good. Another, about an hour stream. So it's not a long one we've done in the past. But again, we won't just sit here and bore you with like rambling. Well, rambling anyway.
Bore you with bollocks.
Speak for yourself.
We'll do it more of the season anyway, but a bit more new. Look, hopefully next week we'll have some news to talk about, hopefully a bit more. I imagine, to be honest with you, I don't really know anymore because I said that last week. I've seen nothing of any new. I'm seeing nothing, so I'm just going to say, look, next week we'll be back and discuss Celtic. I think the first game is our next game of the weekend as well. I think 2 games are coming up, so we'll discuss those 2 games and sort of give a little review of them and sort of see where certain players stand, obviously after both the games, and we'll sort of see where we're looking, obviously, on transfers and all that. So we'll see you guys next week. as everyone for the videos, subscribe to the channel. We actually appreciate all the support we're getting so far. I know there's a lot of people obviously watching right now, but we appreciate everyone who's actually in here, chatting away in the comment section, liking the video. It's just such a great support for you all. I really appreciate us three. So a big up next season. Bring it on. I'm going to see you guys next week. Okay, guys.